I was born 6 weeks early.
Dude, I was born a month early. We're preemies.
Oh, I wasn't actually, but that tracks for you.
What do you...
I love your shirt.
Thanks, bro. You know that song from the 80s? It's like, cherry bomb. It has nothing to do with that song at all.
Super mid.
Barbie's like below mid. The only good part of that movie was Ryan Gosling, and that defeats the entire purpose of the movie. Enough said. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Real Friends. I'm Cole.
And I'm Caleb. And today we're going to be re-reviewing Spider-Man No Way Home. I could not be more excited. But first, we have a little fun segment to start us off today that I planned this in advance.
What is it?
And it's called Best and Worst. And basically, the idea of the game is I have a few different years picked out, just random years I chose.
My birth year?
Some of them are just directly in sequence. No.
2001?
I chose two movies from each year of similar quality, and we have to decide which one is the best and which one is the worst. And we have to agree on it, Cole. So kind of similar to our bracket, but not exactly the same. Because we're going to piss people off on the internet.
Dude, we got cooked on the last one, bro. We have to agree. These are so difficult.
Yes, they're difficult, and we're going to get mad at each other. So, I have our first year. All right. What is the best and what is the worst, Cole? We got 2015, and we have The Force Awakens versus Avengers Age of Ultron. What's the best? What's the worst?
Is that a real question? That one's so
easy. The Force
easy.
Awakens.
As which one, the worst?
No, as the best.
You're saying Age of Ultron is worse than The Force Awakens?
Yes, 100%.
No, we're already fighting on this one. Are you kidding me?
Do you think Age of Ultron is better than The Force Awakens?
Yes, I 100% do. Because one, The Force Awakens is Disney's attempt to reboot Star Wars, and they completely destroyed it. Okay, I know you're such a Last Jedi glazer, but have you seen The Rise of Skywalker anytime recently? Probably not, because it freaking sucked.
Yes.
And you want to know what set that movie up? The Last Jedi. And want to know what set that movie up? The Force Awakens. Okay? Garbage.
Shut your dang mouth.
No. Let me speak. I didn't hate The Force Awakens, okay? But if it had a good trilogy with it, I'd be fine with it. But since we ended with that piece of garbage that is Rise of Skywalker, Palpatine's my daddy, I'm going to kiss Kylo Ren, all of that stupid stuff.
Grandfather.
That's how little I cared. You're right. It was grandfather. I haven't seen it since it came out, and it was ridiculous. Let me hold this random symbol thing up, the key, and it perfectly aligns. Okay, you know what I'm talking about here. Don't try to explain it to me. Age of Ultron, however, bro, Ultron was freaking awesome. He was like the original AI evil. And not original AI evil in like a sense that we haven't seen that before. Like I just watched 2001 and Hal takes over, and he's like, Hal takes over. He's like, I'm sorry, Dave. That was in the 60s, bro.
About right now?
I'm talking about artificial intelligence.
What are you yapping about?
And how awesome,
you freaking yapper.
How awesome Ultron was, bro. He was evil Jarvis, bro. Okay. You think the Force Awakens? You think the Force Awakens is better than that?
The Force Awakens is better than that. I love Age of Ultron, but listen, I agree with you. I love Quicksilver. Disney did ruin Star Wars. I 100% agree with that. But The Force Awakens is not what ruined Star Wars. The Force Awakens was freaking awesome. Yes, The Rise of Skywalker ruined that trilogy. Yes, The Last Jedi was super controversial, and it very much split apart the fan base. But we can all agree The Force Awakens is good. Is it perfect? No. Does it repeat a lot of plot elements from A New Hope? Yes. But dude, the new characters they introduced were awesome. The writing was awesome. Kylo Ren, Rey, Finn, Poe, they're all awesome. We get like a full Han Solo movie, like adventure, and then Kylo Ren and kind of the mystery of him, and then the inner turmoil he's facing for what's happened to him in his past, but then that that face-to-face scene with his dad, Han Solo, and Harrison Ford, a ripe, like 78 years old, is like, Ben! And then he turns around and then he's like, I don't have the strength, but I know I need to do it, and stabs him, bro, and kills Han Solo. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not saying The Force Awakens is a bad movie, okay? I think it's stained by a horrible franchise that screwed it up. And when I look back on Age of Ultron, I have zero problems with that movie. Granted, I can't list off 10 reasons why it's a phenomenal movie. I haven't seen it in like a year, 2 years. Not gonna lie. It's not fair that you get to prep and I don't. But that's probably why it's so much fun. That's probably why it's so much fun. That's a good point. But Ultron's a freaking scary villain. He's in all of Tony's equipment, completely like screwing up his suit, screwing up all of the tech that he has in like Stark Industry. That's fire. Yeah. We get Wanda, we get Quicksilver. That's Wanda's first movie. And she's freaking insane. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron really sets the tone for how dark Marvel can get. And I don't have a single problem with that. I loved Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron's awesome, but some of the dialogue, that Joss Whedon dialogue, is kind of corny. There's just, like a corniness to it. I don't think it looks good, but not like the best ever.
I like the color grading on it. I love the color grading on it. That opening scene, whenever they're all going through, isn't that the one wherever Cap? Isn't that where Cap says language?
Yeah.
That's pretty iconic, bro. That's pretty fire.
It is iconic.
I don't know, bro. I think they're both good. I agree with your reasons on The Force Awakens, but I think The Force Awakens has too many things from the original trilogy for me to say that it's better than Age of Ultron, because it's just using old plot points. It's almost the exact same formula.
Yeah. Let's give it to Age of Ultron, but I still do think Force Awakens is a better movie, even just from a craft perspective. But I love Age of Ultron, and you know what? I'm okay with it. I do think it's the worst Avengers movie, though.
Okay, I can agree with that. I would say Endgame is worse.
All right, moving on. So next year we're going to do is the year 2019. And I skipped ahead to this one because it's actually relevant to this last one because of one of the movies I chose, which is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker versus Captain Marvel. Two freaking terrible movies.
Captain Marvel wins.
We have to choose.
Sorry, Captain Marvel wins. I'm not debating this one.
Captain Marvel, I don't think Captain Marvel wins, bro. And listen.
No way you're convincing me that Rise of Skywalker is better. I will redact my last opinion and let The Force Awakens go through.
Really? You'll trade me?
Yes. And if anyone on the internet thinks that The Rise of Skywalker should be at the top of any ranking list, even if it's between two bad movies, it still is at the bottom. So if that's what I have to do to convince you without talking in circles, I'll give you it. Yeah.
All right. That means The Force Awakens wins, and then Captain Marvel wins. Now,
bro, that is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous take. Sorry, bro.
I just gotta get this off my chest. I do think Rise of Skywalker is better, but I think Rise of Skywalker is a freaking disgusting abomination of a movie that ruins everything. It doesn't ruin everything that came before it, but it is the worst possible ending you could possibly have for Star Wars.
Bro, then why would you put it? Why would you put it above Captain Marvel? What are you, sexist? Because that's the only thing that makes logical sense here.
Yes, I'm sexist. I rewatched the whole sequel trilogy like a year ago, and don't get me wrong, The Rise of Skywalker was still freaking disgusting and terrible, but from a craft perspective, just like the last two, they shoot stuff on location. There's really great puppetry, really great CG, and I don't fall asleep while watching it. I literally have seen Captain Marvel once, and I fell asleep while watching it because it's so nothing and boring and generic and stupid.
I don't
and it
care
stars a woman.
Bro, I don't care. Okay, the woman part, fair. However, I don't care if it's shot on location, if it looks good, if the soundtrack's great, if the story sucks, I'm done. And honestly, Captain Marvel had a better story than The Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. Tell me the Captain Marvel story. Tell me the Captain Marvel story right now.
Okay, I'm about to get cooked right now. I can't
Tell
remember.
me the Captain Marvel story.
I can't remember anything from it. But
Me neither.
But
You could have made something up right now and told me, and I would have believed you.
Okay, fair enough. They're both okay. I think it's like a lesser of two evils here, and
Yes, 100%.
I don't understand why you would say The Rise of Skywalker is better than this movie. I can't defend Captain Marvel here, but there's gotta be a bar. Okay, a bar where it is acceptable to be under that bar for a bad movie.
Okay.
Captain Marvel is just under that bar. The Rise of Skywalker is at the bottom. It's at bedrock.
Can I just say this?
Say
Take
it.
out the cultural impact of both these movies, right? Take
What
out
cultural impact?
the negative cultural impact.
Okay, fair.
Rise of Skywalker, you can't deny it has a cultural impact.
Okay,
a
it's
terrible
horrible.
one
Fair
that
enough.
everyone hated. It's an embarrassment to Star Wars, and it put a sour taste in the entire world's mouth about Star Wars that still hasn't gone away, probably never will. But if you take away all that, you take away all the discourse about Captain Marvel, and you just take them as two movies, I think Rise of Skywalker is better. But they're both awful. So
Okay, pal, I don't think we're going to agree on this one, but I've already won.
we're not.
So let's just move on. That's
Okay,
a crazy
let's
take.
move on. Let's move on. All right. I'm skipping all the way to 2025. This was just last year. Now, Cole, which one's better? Which one's the best? Which one's the worst? F1 or Superman?
I really like them both, but I'm going to say Superman.
I think I'm leaning Superman too. But F1 was just so good, bro.
F1 was dope. I really loved everything about it. Even the story wasn't that bad, even if it was a little generic. But they really killed it with this Superman. And it really highlights the difference between what Zack Snyder did with Man of Steel and what James Gunn was able to do. You get a really likable Superman, a funny Superman, how he's supposed to be. He's one for the people. He's one for the streets. And low-key, the dog arc was pretty fire, bro. And him saving that squirrel, as controversial as it is, bro, that's Superman. And who cares? If he's able to do it, why do we care if he did it? So that's baller. F1 was dope, but it was kind of just like a generic racing movie with all of the same tropes. And it was directed by the same guy who did Top Gun Maverick, which I love Top Gun Maverick. I loved it. I think it was better than the first one. But they're just kind of generic movies. They're more of like blockbusters, and they're awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think I just felt more watching Superman, so that's why I'm voting for Superman.
Cool. All right. Next one, 2023. I got Barbenheimer. Oppenheimer versus Barbie. Which one's better? This one's easy.
Oppenheimer.
Barbie's super mid.
Barbie's like below mid. The only good part of that movie was Ryan Gosling, and that defeats the entire purpose of the movie. Enough said.
Bro, how ironic is it that the only person to win an Oscar from the Barbie movie was Ryan Gosling,
dude,
bro?
That's
what happens when you try to make women-led movies.
It's true. It's satirical. That it just feels satirical. Like this is something you would see in Succession, and it completely backfires on you, and you're like, "What did I just witness?" A movie about female empowerment, and then the mean male character who has a whole breakout dance scene is the one who wins the Oscar.
It's so, and then also the fact that at the Oscars, Ryan Gosling performs "I'm Just Ken," and it's the biggest thing of the whole night, bro. And it's about a guy. That's how it should be.
And then, do we need to have a talk about women? Because you thought Rise of Skywalker was better, and now
let's move on.
Enough said.
All right. Let's do one more. Let's do the year of 2017. Now, this one might be a little tough. This might be one of the tougher ones. So, The year is 2017. What's the best one? What's the worst one? We got Get Out by Jordan Peele versus Logan.
Get Out.
Have you seen Logan?
Yes, I've seen Logan. It's been a while though. But thank you. Even if I was fully locked in on Logan, which I'm not, so I'm a little impartial on this. I need to rewatch it. It's been a while. Get Out was so legendary, especially since it was Jordan Peele's breakout film. I don't even know if I can argue it. I've seen that movie so many times, and I'm still amazed by how well executed that twist is and the tension on screen, especially that scene whenever they're all having dinner and what's his face, the brother, he's playing the banjo or something, and it's like super creepy. And then I'm not sure if it's the same scene, but later on he's like, I need those keys. Come on, babe, can I get those keys? And she's like, she flips on a switch. She's like, come on, babe, you know I can't get you those keys. Oh, scary. You're like all of the tension in this movie where like this white family is going to do something to the only black guy on screen. You're like, oh yeah, it's actually going to happen. And like it makes you feel gross. So good. So good.
I don't know, bro. Logan is like
defend Logan.
Logan is a prestigious movie. Logan might be the best Marvel movie ever made. Might be the best comic book movie ever made, bro. It is beautiful. I mean, you got Hugh Jackman as the lead. You got James Mangold directing it, bro. And this is a very cool movie because they completely kind of just disconnect it from the rest of all the Fox X-Men movies and the mess of all that. They just make it its own thing in its own kind of place and time where they're in this post-apocalyptic.
Nope.
Post-apocalyptic.
Sing along.
Post-apocalyptic. Elliptic.
Great. Keep going.
Post-apocalyptic.
Correct.
World where this whole all these X-Men are like dead, and it's beautiful. Like Wolverine is taking care of Professor X, and he's super old and frail, and he's having these big bursts of energy from his powers that he can't control because he's like seizing, that are like hurting people and torturing people. And Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is just taking care of him in this very like depressing, dark timeline where everything went to crap. And along the way, he meets his daughter, right, X-23, who is made from his DNA, and it's this story about this like hardened man who went through all this crap in his life, now becoming a father and kind of softening his heart and stuff. And it ends with him dying and to save his daughter, and then she buries him, and it has she takes the sticks, bro, and puts an X as his tombstone, bro.
That's pretty fire. I have to say, I just haven't seen it in a while, so I can't defend mine over this one because I think that's unfair.
Yeah.
But
we'll give it to Give Out because I love Give Out.
You're making me want to watch it though, so that proves a point. Okay. It's been a while since I've seen it. I remember scenes, and I remember like the tone of the movie, and I remember thinking this movie looks awesome. Yeah, but I haven't. I'm not super invested in the X-Men. I've been getting more into the X-Men, and like the new trilogy that we have is the trilogy that I watched: First Class, Days of Future Past, and then Apocalypse. Apocalypse, in my opinion, wasn't that great, but Logan is one where it's like I saw it, but I think I was watching it on like FX, and I wasn't really locking in. Like my dad put it on or something. So this is one I don't have an opinion on, but you're making me want to watch it. So yeah,
good. Okay, respect. Hey, and listen, Get Out's great. I love the family. You know, I think they're great.
They're so crazy, bro. The girlfriend's wow.
The girlfriend and her family. They're my favorite characters in the movie.
Oh, you love them? They're your favorite part of the movie?
Yeah, bro.
Why? Tell me more.
Think the boyfriend. I really think the boyfriend. You know, the villain of the movie, the boyfriend. You know, Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah.
I'm really glad. I can't keep going. I can't.
He was the problem.
Can't cancel us if we cancel ourselves. He was the problem.
He was the problem all along. It was his fault that he went all the way to this random white family's house, all the way in the boonies. You know, he shouldn't have been hitting that deer on the way there. That set off a whole chain of events that caused him to get in that chair. All kinds of problems. So, moral of the story is, trust your gut. Don't be stupid.
Yeah, don't be stupid. Anyways,
Idiot.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Star Wars sequels and Adam Driver, and also X-Men, did you hear the rumor that, and this is from like a respected, like pretty credible scooper, that Adam Driver is rumored to be playing Magneto in the MCU X-Men reboot?
No, I haven't, but weirdly enough, I'm picturing him bald, and it just works.
Magneto's not bald.
Oh, I'm picturing Professor X. Oh, then I'm picturing the wrong dude, so disregard, bro. You said he's going to be who, Magneto?
Magneto, yeah.
Dude,
The
anyone
one who
but
was in the
Michael...
Holocaust. Anyways.
Anyone but Michael Fassbender is hard for me to picture, because bro cooked as Magneto. Wasn't he Magneto?
X-Men 97 Magneto was freaking awesome.
I still need to watch that. Maybe I'll watch that soon and we can discuss it.
You should watch it.
But
season 2 is coming out right now, and I haven't started it yet. We gotta watch that for sure.
Oh, dude, we can definitely get on that. Is it airing weekly or is it like?
Yeah.
Oh,
every
sweet.
Wednesday. There's like a few episodes out already.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
But also, by the time this comes out, I think Comic-Con will have already happened, and it's rumored that the X-Men cast is going to get announced. So by the time this comes out, maybe they've already announced Adam Driver officially as Magneto, or maybe it wasn't true. But we're just hearing about it because we're recording this a little bit early. And I got to say, if it's true, that sounds freaking awesome. I love Adam Driver. I think he's a little bit of an underrated actor. And he's been in some great stuff, but I also feel like I want him in more great stuff because he's freaking great.
Yeah, I think the best thing about The Force Awakens, and I'm not flaming The Force Awakens here, but was the fact that that's what kind of booted him into the limelight.
Yeah.
Because, he was one of the best parts of The Force Awakens, if not the best part.
Yeah, dude.
He crushed. He was
trilogy,
the best.
really.
He was the best part of The Last Jedi. More. Oh, that scene's insane.
No, Luke Skywalker was the best part of Last Jedi. I've spoken.
Okay, you need stop saying that stupid phrase. No one cares. But we missed this. Our buddy Hamilton actually pointed this out to us over text message. He said, we forgot about Black Klansman when we were discussing John David Washington films. And that movie is class, and that also has Adam Driver in it. And bro kills it in that movie.
And John David Washington's the villain.
No. Do we need to have a discussion after this?
Keep going,
Do we need to have a discussion?
Keep going.
Villain, bro. But for real, that movie is class. And Adam Driver kills it. He killed it in A Marriage Story. You could feel that tension on screen.
Oh, yeah.
So Adam Driver, extremely underrated. And if he's going to be in the new X-Men as Magneto, I could see it. I want more roles from him. So I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm into it. Well, that's kind of that, you know. We did our segment. It was pretty lit. I think we had some fun talks about movies. And I just got to say, bro, I love your shirt.
Cherry Bomb?
Yeah, bro, I love it. That's such a sick shirt. Tell me about that shirt.
Thanks, bro. You know that song from the 80s? It's like, come on, Dad.
Cherry
Come
bomb.
on, Mom. Cherry bomb. It has nothing to do with that song at all.
Oh.
It's a lot more NSFW, but that's okay. It's Tyler, the Creator. It's his 2016 studio album, Cherry Bomb, featuring track 1 called Death Camp. Do I have to say more?
Cool. So moving on, we're having a fun time on this episode. All right. Cole, I think it's time.
Yo,
Wrong one.
That was... You're such a boomer, bro. You're such a boomer.
Shut your friggin' mouth.
I almost complimented your skills, and then you were like, nope, that's not the right one.
Yeah, I kept doing the wrong one.
That's embarrassing. Does this mean we're discussing No Way Home?
Yes, bro. It is finally time. We are 1 week away from Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out, and I'm so excited for that movie. Actually, we're less than a week. It's going to come out in like 3 days from now.
We will be watching it together in glorious IMAX. I am excited.
Yes. Cole comes in town this week. We're going to watch it together. We're going to review it together on the next episode. I'm so pumped. So to get ready for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
You okay? You okay?
So to get ready for Spider-Man Brand New Day, we are doing another installment of the review series.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yes, chef. I'm hyped to talk about this one.
Me too. So, Cole, actually, real quick, I'm going to talk about my background with this movie. Cole, you talk about your background with this movie. So, I absolutely adore Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yep.
I've said for years that this is my favorite movie of all time. I love it. I have seen this movie in theaters 6 times. That's one more than 5.
How can you afford that?
I'm rich.
Nice.
It was before we had a kid, yo. It was back in like
Understood.
2021. And shout out to Riley. She went to see with me every single one of those times.
Wow. We got the #1 Spider-Man No Way Home Glazers.
Yes. Factual. So,
great.
This movie holds such a special place in my heart. I love it. This movie, it came out in 2021, and just like, I don't know, in a time in my life, it was like the year my dad passed away, and all these things were going on, and it just came at the perfect time where I was just so excited about it, and I loved it, dude. It meant so much to me. And I remember back then I was following all the rumors, all the leaks about this movie. We were all wondering if Toby and Andrew were coming back. Every day I posted on my Instagram story, Spider-Man no trailer today. Every day until the trailer. I literally did this for months. So
crazy.
There was such a build up to this movie. Anyways, I rewatched it and I had a great time with it. And Cole had a different experience and outlook with this movie. So Cole, give us your background with No Way Home.
I love Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong. But when I watched it, I wasn't that impressed. I wasn't hyped. I didn't think the movie was that great because it seemed to rely on a lot of fan service, a bunch of callbacks, which memes are funny and all, and I love a good old meme, but I don't love a movie that's just full of like callbacks over and over and over again. I didn't love the idea that Toby and Andrew came back and that was like its own fan service in itself. I just thought it was kind of lazy. Like, let's rely on the hype. Let's bring them back. Even though I was hype when I was watching it. It's like a weird thing that I was juggling. Like, this was dope, but also, why did they do that? Couldn't they have just made a better isolated story? I didn't love that. I did love Toby, Andrew, and Willem the first time watching.
For sure.
That's like the best part of the movie for me, getting to see the 2 Spider-Men come out, and then Willem himself is just the best Green Goblin ever. Honestly, if we redid our Spider-Man villain ranking, we should classify the 2 Green Goblins that Willem plays in separate spots. Oh, that's
interesting.
You know what I mean? Because I was thinking about it, and he's evil in Spider-Man 1, but bro is on a whole other level.
Yes, bro.
No Way Home.
Is crazy in No Way Home.
Like the final fight at the end, whenever Spider-Man's contemplating killing him, and he punched him in the face, and then he just starts maniacally laughing. I looked over at Ben and I was like, dude, this is insane. So
that's kind of where you were.
Willem was the standout.
Yeah,
that's where I was. I also thought as I left the movie and was really chewing, I was like, depressed Peter Parker in whatever the next movie's going to be is going to freaking hit,
yes, bro.
Yes. Nobody knows who he is, and this is going to freaking slap. Yes. So that was pretty much my original thoughts, and I haven't thought about it since. I've always been on the all right, that movie's whatever. I don't really care. Let's get on to the next
Right.
one, which is the new one that we have coming out this weekend, which I'm so hyped for. So I rewatched it. And honestly, Borghini, I liked it more than I did last time. However, but not as much as I thought I would.
What? Why?
Yeah, I did not love it as much as I was expecting to.
Okay.
You want some reasons?
I want a score.
Ugh.
I want a score. For me, bro, this movie is, for my personal movies, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie. I'm saying for me, this movie is a 10 out of 10. I love it.
You're not gonna like this answer, bro.
Gosh. Give me your score.
It's like a 6.5, maybe a 6 out of 10.
What is wrong with you? You are so stupid.
Bro, let me hit you with my reasons, and let's see if you can actually find some common ground on my reasoning.
I will not find common ground with filth like you.
Great. Let's get right into it.
Go ahead.
1, you're fine. You're fine. This is what I expected. Willem was dope. Okay? On the second viewing, I could not deny the absolute masterclass that Green Goblin was. Bro was maniacal. And then him switching back and forth from innocent old, what's his name? Norman Osborn to Green Goblin. Oh, insane. Yeah. And then the little Spidey sense scene in the apartment when he's like, that's a neat little trick you have there. Yeah. Oh, chills. He steals every scene he's in. And honestly, I might bump him up a couple points, like 6.7. But honestly, he's the main reason that this score is so high. Here's a big problem I had with the movie. Okay. I wrote it down. I didn't love how easy it was for Peter 1 to use the Stark box to magically create the fix for Doc Ock, Goblin, and Electro. I also didn't love how quick it was for Peter 2 and Peter 3 to find their respective fixes for Lizard and who was the other guy? I wrote it down. For Lizard and Sandman. Yeah. To me, it just felt extremely lazy, and all of that happened within like 10 minutes of time. Like on-screen time. The stuff whenever Peter goes into the room and they're all hanging out at Happy's apartment, and he's like, look at this cool Stark box. He opens it up, and then he's just like doing tech with it. I thought that was so stupid because Peter Parker's a genius.
Yeah.
Why is bro relying on Stark technology to do this? And sure, use your tools that you have at your disposal. But it didn't really feel that cool that he was able to save all of them if all he did was go to a box and it do all the stuff it needs him to do. Maybe he did some work on it that we didn't see.
Yeah.
But that entire sequence seemed like it took less than like 5 hours to do. And these are very consequential villains in all of the Spider-Man universe, right? All three of the universes. Right. For them to just kind of wrap up their problems with a Stark box, that kind of pissed me off. I didn't love that. And it just felt too easy fixing them all.
Yeah.
So whenever the other two Spider guys showed up, Toby and Andrew, and they're in the lab, which there's some iconic scenes in there, especially with them pointing at each other. That was awesome. Yeah. So funny. And then him talking about the webs and stuff. That stuff's great. But then they were like, oh, I know Lizard. I think Andrew said that. Let me do it. I had some ideas. You had some ideas on how to fix him. He's been dead. Why have you been thinking about how to fix him if he's been dead this entire time? I just don't understand why that's even a point, why you've been thinking about it. Same thing with Sandman. How has Toby been thinking about fixing Sandman? So I just thought that was really dumb, that was so easily resolved. I also didn't like how quick, and this one I can kind of rationalize just with adrenaline, but it did not seem to me like Tom Holland adequately was mourning Aunt May's death in the movie. She dies, right? And he's tweaking out, right? He goes to the roof. He's crying. Then the spider dudes show up. And low-key, the way that they both jumped off of the top of that building to land on the statue right there, that was probably corniest, cringiest
no, it's
action
awesome.
thing that happened
What
in
are
the
you
entire
talking
movie.
about?
I hated seeing the way that Toby landed right as he's about to meet Tom. That was so weird, and that entire scene was cool, but I also just didn't love it.
What?
But like it didn't feel like he was adequately mourning the death of his aunt, who is basically his mother, who had just died a couple of hours ago, and now he's off to a whole other mission. He's in the laboratory. They're trying to cook up some ingredients to fix all the villains, and he's cracking jokes with the boys, and then whenever they're at the Statue of Liberty with the Captain America shield, they're all just talking about the past villains that they fought. He's like, yeah, I went to space, and I watched the extended cut, too, and that scene
you
just
watched
went
the extended
on forever,
cut?
which, granted, that's the extended cut.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and is that a problem?
I should have made sure you didn't watch that version. That version's worse than the original movie.
Tell me why, and then I'll get back into my reasons.
It drags on the movie with less important stuff.
Yes.
And the original movie is like, it's got energy. It's tight. It's quick. It goes, like, the pacing is like freaking awesome. And then I watched that version, and because they re-released that version in theaters like a year later, and I went and watched it, and it was like fun just to kind of see. But then they put that version on Amazon Prime as the only version you could watch, and I remember renting it a few years later, and I was so annoyed that was the only way I could watch it. Now it's on Disney Plus, and it's the original version, and it's elite. So I'm really sad that's the version you watch.
But I don't think that's the problem. And I'm going to cut it some slack. That scene whenever they're talking about like the villains that they've all fought, I think that was extended cut stuff because I don't remember any of that. And maybe it wasn't that long. But even Peter joking with the boys right there, and they're talking about the web shooters and stuff, his attitude did not seem like one who was in mourning for a loved one. And I get it, he's got to be Spider-Man. But I expected him to be more broken, and he wasn't. So that was a problem I had. And here is the third problem I had. Probably one of the bigger problems. Doctor Strange is supposed to be one of the smartest people on Earth. He has the stone. He doesn't have the stone anymore, but we've seen him be a genius. Why on earth did he even do what he did?
Yeah.
This is like dark witchcraft that he's dealing with. And Peter comes up to him saying, I need to get into college.
He says
and
he
I'm
needs
so
his
sad.
friends to get into college.
Peter's retarded.
He's not selfish like that.
Okay. Doctor Strange has important things to be dealing with. And Dog sets out time. Sure, he wants to help out Peter. Whatever. But the consequences of this spell, I think he should have sat down and chatted with Peter and said, what are we doing? Exactly what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Can I even do this? But no, he does it almost immediately for him after a couple of minutes of conversation. And then when Peter starts giving him all these modifications, he's like, why are you doing this? Oh my gosh, I should have known you were going to do this because you were a child. And I'm stupid. Why am I doing this? Yeah. And then he creates the entire chain of events that happen. But that's just not something a logical adult with this type of ability would do. It just didn't make any sense for how smart Doctor Strange is supposed to be. So that pretty much set the entire chain of events in motion for me. And
I feel that. I mean,
that was a huge problem I had. I'm thinking of other things now, but those are the three things that I wrapped up.
Yeah.
And I also thought, here's the last thing. I'm gonna talk some like good things. Toby felt cringe compared to Andrew. Like, and maybe, I don't know why, maybe that's just by design because the Raimi trilogy is somewhat cringy, and that's something I love about it. Maybe I'm just thinking about Spider-Man 3 here.
Oh, yes. Are you saying
he's
in
a little
this movie?
cringy in the Raimi trilogy. You can't deny that the Raimi trilogy has cringe in it. No, okay, I'm saying Toby in general. Toby didn't seem like a demanding, domineering force on screen the way that Andrew Garfield was. Andrew Garfield gave probably the best performance in this movie as his Spider-Man. He felt genuine and real, and he felt extremely broken, but you could tell that hanging out with these two guys that understand him, he was like, I am healing. You could feel him healing.
Yes.
because he was very clearly, he's like, I love you guys.
Yeah,
he probably hasn't had that type of emotion since Gwen died. And he's like, at some point, I stopped pulling punches. And that's really sad to hear. You know, with Toby, I was like, I don't really care what's going on with his Spider-Man at all. So I just felt like Toby was kind of lackluster compared to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. But I was really glad with what they did with Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man and the fact that he got to save Michelle Jones, a.k.a. MJ, a.k.a. Zendaya, a.k.a. Tom Holland's wife.
Okay.
Michelle Jones is just a funny name to say. So basically,
everything you're saying makes me want to throw
didn't
up.
love Toby in that part. And...
No. Bro, okay.
Yeah, but these are all valid takes.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
So the Stark box.
Dispute each take I gave you.
I think it's fair to be annoyed that it was Stark Tech that kind of helped fix the bad guys. But, I mean, Peter still figured out how to fix Doc Ock just using the Stark Tech, if my memory serves. I mean, he figured out, like, oh, the chip that stops the arms from controlling his brain is fried, so the arms have essentially hijacked his brain. They're controlling him. So if we replace that chip with a new chip, bada bing, bada boom. Did the Stark box create the chip? Yeah. And you know what? I've never really thought about it that much, but I will say that's fair. It's fair to be annoyed that the Stark box kind of saves the day a little bit. But I don't think they used the Stark stuff heavy-handedly in this movie. I actually think they showed a lot of restraint compared to the other two movies when it comes to anything Tony Stark. You know, I think that they could have leaned into his death and grieving Tony more, but I think you more just feel that within Tom Holland's acting than them like talking about it a bunch. And I think the two other Spider-Mans, Tobey and Andrew, having these ideas for cures for their villains makes a lot of sense in the context of kind of where these Spider-Men have been. You know, like Green Goblin, for example. For Tobey Spider-Man, it's probably been 20 plus years since Spider-Man 1 happened, since Green Goblin, Norman Osborn, died. And he cared about Norman Osborn. So whenever he died, it was like sad for him. So it makes sense that in his like sadness and in his regret and in wishing things had been different, it made sense that with his genius mind, he would have kind of just for years, for all this time, just thought about like, what could I have done differently? How could I have fixed him? And eventually came to that conclusion.
But wasn't that Tom? Didn't Tom fix Norman, though? Because they tried to get him fixed in the apartment before Tobey was even there. I thought
Tobey is the one who like presses the thing for Sandman, but Tobey is the one who comes up with the cure for Green Goblin. Yes, Tom.
No, but I thought they had
Not for
the
Green Goblin.
cure in the
No, they had
beginning
it for
in the
Doc Ock,
apartment,
and then Electro,
remember?
And then I think they were.
Are you sure? Then what did Aunt May grab out of the room?
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Aunt May
Remember,
grabbed
she
something
does
out
it
of
in
the
his
room,
neck,
and they were about to use
work.
it on him.
So
okay.
So Tobey had like the working cure.
Okay, so he fair enough. I'll give you that one.
I guess they didn't really flesh that out a lot, but I guess Tom tried and failed, and they don't really expand on it. But you just see like she puts in his neck, and he's like this for a second, and then he just keeps going.
But you see what I'm saying? How like it feels very just like pull it out of a bag, and then it works. Or it doesn't work on them. It just doesn't feel like there was a lot of thought and effort put into stopping these villains. And that's probably
fair.
because there were so many villains
for
on
me
screen
personally,
that they have to wrap up.
I think it was enough for me that the explanations that they give in terms of like Andrew being like, yeah, you know, I've thought about this for a long time. I'm a genius. I've thought of a cure. And then kind of Toby saying the same thing. To me, that's enough. Plus you have, and yes, they could have probably fleshed this out more, but you had Ned and MJ in the room who are also geniuses. Like these guys are going to MIT, you know, like everyone in that room, the three Spider-Men and Ned, MJ, that's 5 geniuses in one room, 5 essentially scientists who I could buy that they could figure this all out. For me, it wasn't about figuring out the cures. I don't think that's what they were like really setting out in the movie wise to do. I think it was more about what these characters are going through, if that makes sense for me.
Yeah, it just felt, I hear what you're saying. I don't think I can explain any more than that, but keep going.
It makes sense.
Dispute my other points.
What was the next thing you said?
Doctor Strange being a freaking idiot.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I can kind of see two different sides of it. On one hand, you definitely feel a difference in his character in this movie compared to like every other movie, right? Like he's very different in the first Doctor Strange, Infinity War. He's very different in the Doctor Strange after this movie. I would say it makes sense that he would be like, let's just help this kid. You know, we've used this memory wipe spell before on Wong. You know, it's in his mind, it's harmless. He's seen that Peter has gone through literally getting beat up by Thanos, Infinity snapped, blipped for 5 years, and then he comes back and Tony dies, and then he gets framed for murder and his identity revealed, and now like he wants to help his friends have a future. I can see why he'd be like, I'm going to do this, and he should have thought about it more. At the same time, that kind of contradicts. Like I remember in Infinity War, Doctor Strange is like, I'm gonna not give up this time stone, even if like you guys die. Like that was his character before. So I agree that there is like a character difference, and I also can see why maybe he would do what he did.
Okay. I think the character difference for me is far too different, and that's a huge plot point for me. That's a problem. But I also understand what you're saying. Emotionally, it makes sense.
Yes.
But Doctor Strange doesn't operate on emotions. He operates on logic. And we have seen that. He literally let the snap happen because there was only one timeline where they won. Right. And that was the timeline of misery. But bro still let it happen. I can't rationalize the idea that he wanted to help Peter out and didn't logically think through how he was actually going to let it happen if the consequences of that spell were fracturing timelines. I don't think that's a logical move by him at all, even if he was trying to help Peter out.
I mean, he didn't know that it would be fracturing timelines because even Wong says this travels the borders of unknown reality. Like they don't know what the consequences are, but it is a big risk. Then he shouldn't have done
it, bro. Then he shouldn't have risked it. He doesn't risk things. He's not a risk taker.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I mean, I think the movie even kind of says like, oh, he shouldn't have done this. But for me, it doesn't, because of that emotional level, it doesn't bother me. While I can also, I can agree, it is kind of a different version of the character. And I can understand why that would be annoying.
Yeah. But I hear your reason on that. That works. That's a good reason.
And then what was the next thing?
Aunt May's death.
I completely like hardcore disagree. I think bro is broken. I mean, he goes to that rooftop. Tom Holland's acting when he's standing in the rain watching J.K. Simmons roast the crap out of him, saying that everything is Spider-Man's fault. And he's just like dead inside. And then to be on that rooftop, to be like broken, and for these other two Spider-Men to show up out of nowhere. And they try to start talking to him and telling him like, listen, we know what you're going through. And he's immediately like, don't tell me you know what I'm going through. Like, I want to kill him. Like, he did this to like my Aunt May, all this stuff. And, you know, they kind of help him see like, hey, we know, we really do know what you're going through. And then, you know, I see what you're saying in the sense of like, he does go on in the next scene to be like cracking jokes and stuff. But that is kind of how grief is. Grief is not like you're 100% just angry or crying all the time. Grief is also like, listen, like maybe I'm like deeply sad, but I am going to crack jokes and laugh, and that kind of just helps. And in the next moment, I'm going to be pissed off. And that is grief to me. So I would definitely disagree on that. I think he very much shows his brokenness for Aunt May. I mean, even like the whole scene, right? You even see when it's time to kind of figure out the cure for Green Goblin and he's with Toby, and you kind of see this look on Tom Holland's face that's like pissed off at this guy, and Toby's like, hey, we got to cure them all, right? Talking about Green Goblin. Like, listen, I know what he did, but like, we got to cure them all. And then, you know, they go on to fight and joke and whatever. But then the moment Green Goblin shows up in that fight, bro, Peter 1 changes, brother. He changes, bro. Once they land on the ground down there and, you know, Peter like puts that grenade in his glider and it blows up and they fall onto the shield, bro. Peter 1 is out to kill, bro. The acting in Tom Holland's face, bro, in his eyes, like he wants to murder him. And
yeah, that's true. I'll agree. I can agree with that. I guess what you're saying about grief makes sense. I think that's hard for me to rationalize, I guess, on screen, because he just seems so different in each scene. And your point's valid. I don't necessarily think it was extremely well executed in that way, but I can't dispute your point because that's a very, very fair point. So
no, I hear you. I mean,
I can't dispute it. I was just looking for a little bit more of like reaction from him. But your reasons are good. I don't really have anything to argue that point, so I'll let you have that one.
I hear that. And he even when Tom Holland has the glider, like bro would have killed him if Toby didn't stop him.
Yeah, and that's true.
He would have murdered him.
Yeah, but that was more rage. I guess that was more rage. What you're describing with Willem, that's more rage and anger. I wanted to see more sadness.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it boils down to for me. I wanted to see more heartbreak.
I hear that, yeah.
Not rage and anger. I would have loved, because Tom Holland can act. That dude. Have you seen his Apple TV movie Cherry?
Dude, I've been wanting to check it out. Is it good?
Bro, dude, he's insane. And he is like a completely different character in that movie. Like PTSD, war, horrible stuff going on. Even the show, The Crowded Room, also an Apple TV show. In it, he is also like going through some stuff in that show. And you can see that. And I just, knowing Tom Holland, I want to see him broken.
Right.
After this death. And I saw more rage, which is a reasonable reaction. I think there was so much stuff going on in this movie, which bloated the ending for me. You know, so many villains and all of these things. It's hard to capture what I want. I think I have extremely high expectations for what I want. And there's no screen time for that when you're fighting Doc Ock, freaking Lizard, who pops out of nowhere, right? I don't love Lizard. You have Sandman, you have Jamie Foxx, who's Electro, you have Green Goblin, you have, who's the other main one? Did I hit them all? Sandman. I think I hit them all. Regardless, you have all these villains, right? You have to wrap them all up. You have a dude who's in grief. You have two Spider-Mans, and we're cracking jokes with this funny stuff going on, right? That's very bloated to me, especially beginning the third act of your movie. It's a lot to resolve. So, I wrote that. I wrote that down.
I hear that, but dog, I just see it so differently. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want if I'm having all three Spider-Mans together, I want it to be a balance of their personalities and like it being funny and cool, and also being emotional. And I think they struck it perfectly. I mean, that rooftop scene, bro, is so beautiful, dude. To see, dude, the way all of these three actors act, bro. Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield. When they look at each other, bro, there's something behind it. Like I feel like this connection that they have as Spider-Man, right, from across the multiverse, as being variants of each other, being the same person from different universes. Like, I feel like there's this spiritual connection you can feel between them, and it's all credit to the way these guys act, bro. The way
I agree.
And that first scene where Toby and Andrew come through the portals, bro, and the way they look at each other and like they're processing, like, bro, this is literally another version of me. And then the rooftop scene, bro, the way I think this movie, because I agree that the Sam Raimi movies are very cringe, and I don't think Tobey Maguire did like the best job in the world in those movies. I'm not saying it was his fault. You know, it could have been the script, it could have been the directing, it could have been whatever. But I think this movie redeems those movies a lot. I think this movie redeems Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I think it redeems the crap that kind of went down with Andrew Garfield's movies, bro, because this really gives Tobey the chance to like be emotional with like a better script and better direction, bro.
But he wasn't that emotional.
I thought he was. I mean,
I don't think Tobey was that emotional.
Him saying that his Uncle Ben was killed and it was his fault and that he wanted that guy dead.
That's it, though. I'm trying to figure out how much more emotional he was than that. Like, I get it, that scene was great, but I wasn't feeling emotions from him like I was for Andrew Garfield. Like, that's pretty much the extent of the emotions I got from Tobey.
I agree, but also I think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is at a very different stage than Andrew Garfield's, and that's what I loved, is that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, he feels like the big brother in like his 40s that is kind of on the other side of the struggle. Like, he's got it figured out, right? A little bit. Like, he's gone through everything. He went through the really dark times. He lost his girl. She didn't die, but him and Mary Jane, like, didn't work out. And he went through this dark period of being Bully Maguire. And then him and NJ, he kind of says, like, yeah, we kind of figured it out. And you can see he's in, like, a good place where he can really mentor and be a good example to these guys, where Andrew Garfield is kind of that middle brother who is like kind of still in the middle of the darkness, but is like starting to come out of it, but doesn't have it all figured out. And he can also kind of guide Tom Holland, but more of a place of like, listen, don't be me. Don't do what I did. And he's kind of still finding his way out of it, but he's still in the darkness. So when he's that emotional,
I loved him. He's
yes. Great. Yeah. And also, I mean, Andrew Garfield might just be a better actor than Tobey.
Yeah.
And I do think they really went places with him. But
100%.
I don't think I needed the same thing from all of them. Not saying that's what you're needing, but I just felt like the different stages that they were at worked, where Tom's, he's young, right? And this is really, the first 3 movies of Tom Holland's Spider-Man are really one big origin story. They kind of trick you with Homecoming because you don't have like the origin story in that movie, and you kind of feel like, oh, sick, like, okay, cool. They kind of skipped the origin story. That's awesome. No, all of these movies, plus the Avengers movies and Civil War, these were his origin story, because at the end of this movie, that's when he becomes Spider-Man for real, bro.
That's cooking. That's hard right there, dude. This is the full origin trilogy. This is the origin trilogy. Because that was his Uncle Ben moment.
Yeah,
and
it was.
He needed that Uncle Ben moment because, he's been friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. Yeah. So that's fair. I'll give you that. And I do like the thing that you said about Tobey being Big Brother. Like, that's kind of a different perspective when you look at him. Like, he does seem like he has it all together. He has a lot of wisdom. Yeah. He's not as broken as either of them are. So he just kind of has it mainly figured out. So it's kind of a different perspective. So I can agree with that. That's a good point.
No, don't get me wrong. I hear your points too. Some of that stuff I've never thought about. I never thought about the Stark box.
Yeah.
I never thought about I've thought about the Doctor Strange thing, but I think you made really good points with that. But yeah, dude, and I just thought the 3 Spider-Man had such good chemistry, bro. And the emotional stuff and the humor, bro. Like, the humor is so funny to me, bro.
And I loved how when they started fighting together for the first time, they were so out of order that they were fighting horribly. And then they had that little argument, like, I'm Peter 1, you're Peter 2. No, I'm Peter 2, I'm Peter 1, whatever. And then they're like, we have to work as a team, because they don't normally work as a team. So I thought that was cool, that dynamic. There were a lot of parts I loved, and I did love the aspect of the 3 Spider-Man. Not a problem with that. I'm getting like nitpicky about these very, very specific things. But for the most part, I really enjoyed it. I also liked the beginning when he was doxxed by Mysterio.
Dude, that was freaking awesome.
Like, bro has to go back to school.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, he has that textbook in his backpack that says GED.
Yeah.
And bro never got to graduate because he doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So there's just all kinds of little details. And then the Venom ending with the little symbiote. Ugh. So I'm hyped for that, bro.
I'm hyped for it too. I agree. The best part about Far From Home was that post-credit scene where Mysterio outs Peter. I think it's awesome. And the movie starts with just this energy that I love, bro. Like him swinging with MJ and everyone's watching him and that music kicks in, bro. And they're just trying to like get to his apartment and Happy's there. And it's like all this stuff is happening, dude. And the movie just moves with this awesome pace. And I'm actually so sad that you watched the extended version because the pacing of the original movie is pristine and it's a big part of the experience. And I'm so sad that you didn't watch it that way.
Hey, it's okay, but maybe I'll do a thirdsies on it in a year or so. However, do we want to get my brother in and David's opinion on it?
I need this to happen.
Okay, let me yell at them. Hey Benji, you want to come in? You and David?
All right.
I can't hear a word he's saying.
We got some guests on the pod. The first ever guest stars on the Real Friends podcast are entering Cole's room as we speak, I think. They're coming in.
Oh, here's
Cole, you got to introduce
brother.
them.
He's coming in. All right, Benjamin, duck down.
Hi.
There you go. Yeah, you can sit on the bed. Get on the bed. This is so funny. All right, David, you come over here too. Yeah, you get on the other side. I can't scoot anymore.
What's up, my dog? He can't
great.
hear me at all.
These are. Oh, they can't hear you here. That'll actually be a problem.
That's okay.
It's okay. I'm telepathic.
Yeah, he's my son.
He's telepathic. We don't do this. We don't do this here on the podcast.
You can read my lips.
This is my brother
want.
Ben. Ben, say hello.
Howdy.
And then this is my buddy David. David, say hello.
Hola.
And we just got done doing a discussion on Spider-Man No Way Home, and you guys watched it with me. So I want to hear your perspective, Ben, because I kind of just ripped this movie to shreds, and Caleb wasn't that happy with it. But I did bring up some points that he needs to further think about. But what are your thoughts, Doug?
Okay, what do you want specifically? I need specific questions.
Just what kind of questions
score,
do we got for
and
him?
where does it rank in his Spider-Man movies?
Great. All right. Give it a score, 1 out of 10. You can be very specific, as well as where it ranks in, let's say, the other Spider-Man movies.
Okay. So 1 out of 10 overall of all movies, and then a 1 out of 10 of Spider-Man movies. Correct?
Great. Let's do both.
Okay. The 1 out of 10 overall is a 6. Okay?
I've never been so validated.
I've never been so disappointed, Ben. You're supposed to be my son.
The 1 out of 10 in Spider-Man movies. I almost feel like I need to rank the Spider-Man
have
movies
him rank
for this
them.
one, but I'm going to give this...
Yeah, rank them.
I'm going to give... Oh, you want me to rank all of them?
Yeah, just off the top of your head.
Oh, dude. Are we counting the animated ones? Because that's going to get deep.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the animated ones. I've only seen them each once.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, that's number 1. The first one. And I'm going to put The Amazing Spider-Man as number 2.
What?
Okay. And then I'm going to put Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire, as number 3. And then I'll put No Way Home.
Under Spider-Man 3?
And then I'll probably put Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire, number 5.
He just yelled under Spider-Man 3.
Huh?
Disregard, this doesn't work if you can't hear him. Keep going.
Honestly, yes, I would. No Way Home is only good because it references the other Spider-Mans. That's the only thing that makes it good. If you went to the theater and you watched it and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield didn't show up and Doc Ock wasn't in it and Green Goblin wasn't in it, you wouldn't care about the movie. The movie would not be good. It's feeding off of old movies that were fire.
Off our podcast.
And that's what makes the movie good. And yes, it's an enjoyable movie, but just because it's fan service.
Okay, I got to take you off. Caleb's getting a little heated. David, what are your thoughts?
Okay, can I just pull out my notes?
Oh, David came prepared.
Notes.
Well, I tried to notes.
Okay.
Bro, he wrote some notes down.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go for one. Okay, the number one is my opinion on the hot take of Doctor Strange caused every major problem in No Way Home. I know that's a big hot take, but like think about it.
We just got done discussing
Did
that
you?
point. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. So you guys are already on it. And then number two,
Hit this one.
should I though?
Yeah, this is a great point.
You think so?
I think it's a good point.
Okay, Peter should. Or sorry. Wow.
It's okay.
He's
dyslexic.
Yeah. Peter Parker should have sent back all of the villains like in the first place whenever he could have. I think personally. But
I agree.
But then there would be no like plot to the story and everything. So if you think about it, it's kind of needed. But I mean, logically thinking about it, should have just sent them back. And then number three. Yeah, we are on number three. You're gonna flame this. The
ending.
Yeah, you see it.
Erased.
Yeah, the ending erased all of Peter's character growth. I think
That's a hot take.
a
But I
very
genuinely
hot
stand
take.
on that. I don't know. I don't know.
And hit him with this last one.
The last one is Tobey Maguire shouldn't have been in No Way Home. Personally, that's my hot takes.
Wow. This brought me so much physical pain I can't even explain it.
Low key. Let's bring this out.
Check.
I need to hear love.
Hello.
Hey, can you talk,
hear
Caleb?
me?
All right, the boys can hear you now.
This
Should've done this a while
entire
ago.
conversation has brought me so much pain.
Okay, so Ben's wasn't that controversial. Ben's
made me wanna throw up.
David has some. Yeah, Ben's make you want to throw up, but
Okay.
David's actually crazy on some of
I
these.
have a controversial take, though. I think this one's truly controversial. Do you want me to hold it? Okay. This is what's controversial, is Peter deciding not to kill all of them. I think that was stupid. And then what's even more controversial is when Aunt May is like, "You did the right thing, Peter." I thought that was even more stupid. I feel like at that point, at that point, she deserved what happened to her. Because
Bro has to be rage baiting.
wait. If Aunt May had given Peter better advice, then none of that would have happened. But she raised him to save terrible people. Like, she was like, "Oh, it's the right thing to save Doc Ock," even though when he spawned in this universe, he killed like 50 people on that bridge.
Yo, let me have the mic for a quick sec. I actually have to agree with Ben on this one because I'm agreeing with the fact that these were villains that were bad, right?
That's the definition of
They
a
were
villain.
horrible. Why are we having to make redemption for every single villain on screen? They were all already dying. Tom Holland could have just sent them back because they were already dead. Why are we saving them? I do agree with that take. And I think David had that take too.
Yeah.
Caleb, what are your thoughts on that?
I would
on that
say
take?
I disagree. Hardcore, because with great power comes great responsibility, and the lesson I think of this whole movie is that even though they're bad, everyone deserves to be saved. Spider-Man doesn't kill. Spider-Man uses his powers to help. Because they really paint these villains in the light of they're sick, right? They have these things that have happened to them that have turned them to the way they are. And with his power of being a genius and being able to find a cure, he has a responsibility to cure these sick people.
I guess that's a fair point, and I'm not going to deny that. But in the grand scheme of things, Doctor Strange was right by wanting to just send them right back. That was the logical part of him coming out.
No, logically,
he was 100% right.
It does make sense. But
But Ben has a good point, bro. Doc Ock spawned on that bridge and just started like throwing cars around and killing people.
It is
like
true.
that dude gets
true.
redemption.
Just like
so, I guess I'm just a little tired of like turning the bad guys into good guys. But I will say, in almost all of these movies, they did have their own arc where they came back at the end. So it's not like they spawned in this world and they were just they were like evil when they died. And then we have sympathy for them, right? Specifically like Doc Ock. Like Doc Ock sacrificed himself after he realized what he had done was wrong. And then he drowned. Like that was dope. They had the whole fight at the end of Spider-Man 3 with Sandman and Green Goblin and Venom. And didn't Sandman do the right thing?
I thought he did.
when? Oh, in Spider-Man 3.
In
yeah,
Spider-Man
I believe
3.
so. It's been a minute, but I think so.
And then I don't remember. I fell asleep in TASM 2 when I rewatched it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Naturally. I don't remember what happened to Jamie Foxx. Did he just explode?
I'm pretty sure he died. No, he definitely died.
So
they reference it in No Way Home.
But basically, it's like I'm tired of villains getting like a comeback story like Wicked, bro. I don't care about her. Why are we trying to make her the good guy?
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of felt like that's what they were trying to do. Like Ben said, they're evil, send them back. But you're right. That's a fair point about Spider-Man. Boys, do you have any more controversial takes that's going to make Caleb want to throw up?
I think I'm all tapped out.
Bro's
Okay.
tapped.
I don't know if I think I said everything I felt.
Aunt May deserved to die. That's what
Bro,
Ben's leaving with. That's crazy.
So funny.
That's a crazy hill to die on.
Oh, let's give bro the mic.
I want to give the movie some praise. The writing of the movie and like the plot is a little sloppy, like the way one thing has to happen to make the next thing happen. I felt like that was a little sloppy. But when Aunt May died, I felt like that was a really emotional moment, and I feel like they did it really well. Peter kind of moved on really quick from it, but I think that's because he knew with great power comes great responsibility, and I think that was a Spider-Man trait, is he knew he had to move on to save the world. So I feel like after that point it was more emotional, and especially so when like Andrew Garfield showed up and was pouring out his heart, and Tobey Maguire showed up, and then the scene at the end where Tobey Maguire like holds the shield.
Yes.
Like, I don't care if the movie was fan service. It was fan service in all the best ways possible.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That makes up for a lot of the failings of the movie, I think.
Well, boys,
Great. Well, you heard it here first. Welcome to the pod. First guests. Caleb would rank their performance on the show.
I'll give them both
Be
a
honest.
1 out of 10 for their takes, bro. But 10 out of 10 for their performance.
I was expecting that. All right.
I'll take it.
All right, that's your cue to get out
No,
of the room.
thanks
See you
guys for coming on. I love you boys with all my heart.
I love you boys with all my heart.
Bye.
Bye.
See you, dog.
That was beautiful. So grateful for the boys for hopping on and giving their thoughts.
What'd you
Just say
say?
I'm so grateful for the boys for hopping on and giving their thoughts. Crazy takes. Saying Aunt May should have died was
I support-
wild.
That was pretty wild, but I kind of respect it because bro meant it with his whole heart.
No,
He
I
wasn't
respect
holding
that.
back.
I love that. That's what I love about Ben. Cool. Well,
But he did actually he did have a good point with the him moving on. I know that was a point that I had. With great power does come great responsibility, and in the grand scheme of things, that is a very central Spider-Man theme. And he can either wallow about it and make it all about him, or do the superhero thing and go out and save people's lives. So that actually that's a really
and
good
I will say too, one hot take I have about Spider-Man No Way Home, and I don't know if I've heard anybody else on the internet talk about this. This is a hot take.
What is it? What is it?
Toby Spider-Man should have died in this movie. When he gets stabbed.
They kind of set it up. That was kind of dumb.
Yeah. That's like my if I had to have like a true issue with this movie, it would be that. It's the fact that they play out this moment that he gets killed, right? He gets killed by Green Goblin because he's trying to save
protecting
Green Goblin and trying to save Tom Holland from crossing the line of killing him, and him to kind of sacrifice himself and get killed in the moment initially has a really crazy and cool impact, and I think it really works. And he just kind of walks it off and he's fine, but I think it would have really worked in this movie and really giving it just even a little bit more of a gut punch if he sacrificed himself, right? Because he's at this point he's kind of had the happy ending. He's, like I said earlier, he's on the other side of the struggle. He's made it work with MJ. He's helped kind of save, the villains that he once fought. He's saved another Spider-Man, and for me, that feels like a worthy time for him to die. But he doesn't. And
I know why.
I think why?
I think it's because the ending was so bloated and there was so much crap going on that we wouldn't have been able to adequately mourn him because Doctor Strange is doing a spell up on the roof. It's all fragmenting. Different realities are coming in. And once again, the ending of this movie is full of so much stuff going on that they can't give you that because we got to focus on like a huge, like arguably one of the biggest moments in Spider-Man's in all these movies, him being forgotten. Yeah. So that's why.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that there was so much going on.
I hear you. I don't think the ending was bloated. I think that I loved it. I didn't think it was bloated. I thought it worked super well. I think the reason they didn't kill him is probably twofold. One, they are 1,000% bringing Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man back in either Doomsday or Secret Wars. It's heavily rumored, there's been like scoopers saying that he's back in Doomsday, that they brought Tobey back. And I 100% believe that he's coming back. I don't think they're going to let a big kind of character like that go and they could get more use out of him. And the other thing, like the other reason I think is I don't think they wanted the backlash, bro. I think too many people would have been pissed off that this movie killed like a lot of people's favorite Spider-Man. And I don't think they wanted that backlash. So that's my reason, but I can also agree, like, you know what? You're right. The ending was packed. The ending had like a full storyline it was doing. There would have been no time to properly mourn Toby. And I agree with what you're saying.
Like, imagine he dies. Andrew's holding his dead body, and then they poof away with the spell.
That would have been kind of wild.
That right there, I 100% believe that's why he didn't die. But I hope we see him in Doomsday, and I hope he gives me a reason to really be like, you shine, Toby. I'm ready.
No, me too. I'm of two minds about this because I think if he would have died, it could have made a better movie. It could have made that moment work better. At the same time, I want to see him again. I want to see him with Avengers. I want to see him with X-Men. Like, I want to see that, and hopefully it's good. But yeah. Well, I'm glad we talked about this. There's a little flying
I wish
around.
I had better news for you, bro. I really did want to like it more than I did. So
no,
maybe third time's the charm with no extended cut. But
yeah, and I don't want to invalidate your opinions.
Yeah,
but I do think you have a different experience, bro, because that longer version is a little bloated. Like it makes it feel a little longer. So maybe when you rewatch the original, you know, we'll have to maybe come back to it again and just do a short little talk.
I got you, bro. Well, since we've hit that, I think it's time we assess our Spider-Man live action and animated movie tier list. And I'm just going to hit you with mine real quick, if that's cool.
Do it, bro. Give me your Spider-Man movie ranking.
So I have 10 movies. And for my Spider-Man silver screen ranking at number 10, I have Far From Home.
Whoa. That's at the bottom?
Yeah, I did some editing on it earlier because I low-key had this movie there. In 9th place is TASM 2. I swapped it out because of the amount of hate I was giving on Mysterio last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I still think Mysterio sucks. I hate everything about him, and I get more enjoyment out of watching TASM 2 than I get out of watching freaking Jake Gyllenhaal get ruined. I hate Mysterio with all of my heart.
Wow.
So number 10 is Far From Home. Number 9 is TASM 2. You're not going to like this one. Number 8 is No Way Home.
Bro, get out of here, bro. What are you talking about? Are you freaking crazy? Number 8?
Just watch back this entire podcast, bro. You'll understand my reasonings for it. Number 7 is TASM. The Amazing Spider-Man, I think it's great. I think it's fun. Andrew's Peter Parker slaps Gwen Stacy. Everyone loves blonde Emma Stone. I like TASM. I think it's great. Up to number 6. Because of my review of Homecoming, it is higher. Because I thought Homecoming was actually pretty fire after our discussion that we had on the re-review. I had Homecoming, I think, way lower whenever I had this ranking made like 2 weeks ago. And honestly, you've convinced me, you changed my mind. And I really enjoyed it. So Homecoming slapped. Number 5. Now dig on this. Spider-Man 3. I love Spider-Man 3. I am not saying it's a phenomenal movie. This is the same thing I said with Revenge of the Sith. I just love it. And you can't convince me otherwise. This is my list, and you can't take that away from me. So keep your thoughts to yourself. Find us some shade. Number 4, Across the Spider-Verse. Loved it. Across the Spider-Verse was phenomenal. I don't have anything else to say about that. You know, it just built off of what Into the Spider-Verse did and did it even better. Freaking awesome. That's one instance of multiverse stuff actually working. Yeah. Way to do it, Sony. Number 3, Spider-Man Dose. Doc Ock, Peter losing his powers. Phenomenal. Freaking great. And then you have 2.1, 2.1 in the mix with the funny, longer scenes. And I know we were saying that No Way Home kind of doesn't benefit from a longer thing, but there's a few scenes in 2.1 that I do think help out. Like, isn't the doctor scene extended in 2.1?
I've never seen 2.1.
Oh, it's basically just an extended version, and I got to see it in theaters this year. Oh, dude, it was fire.
Oh, that's sick.
I love Spider-Man 2. It's so sick. You get to see him struggling as a young man. You get to see him losing his job. You get to see pizza time. All this stuff, bro. And then Doc Ock is just such a well-orchestrated villain. You get the train scene. You get the palm of the sun and the palm, the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. You get to see him sacrifice himself at the end. You get to see a man who truly wanted to create good technology, and the technology overtook him. And you get to see that struggle. Doc Ock is one of the best. He's one of the best villains that we have seen on Spider-Man.
But somehow he's not worth saving.
Hey, I acknowledge that I thought that potentially he was worth saving. Not all the villains weren't worth saving. I'm mainly talking about Electro, your number whatever, freaking top 3 villains right there, who was just straight 3, evil. Baby. And in Lizard? Lizard was not, did not feel bad. Did he feel bad in TASM? I don't remember.
No, I love TASM 1, so.
No, but did he feel bad? I can't remember. Did Lizard feel bad at the end?
Oh, I don't
think he did. He seemed pretty evil in this one too, in No Way Home.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, I think Doc Ock is one of the most redeemable villains in all of Spider-Man. But in the comics, he's purely evil, which I just learned. So that's kind of a crazy way to put him on the screen. Number 2, for my number 2 position on this Spider-Man list, Into the Spider-Verse, absolute class. Nothing to say. We've already talked about it. And in the number 1 position, you guessed it, chat, Spider-Man 1. That movie, freaking 25-year-old Tobey Maguire as a high school Peter Parker. I don't care. I grew up watching that one. It's freaking awesome. I have nothing else to say about it. That's my list.
Wow. That list...
Does it suck?
Makes me want to kill you.
Dude, you're so sweet. Which take did you hate the most? Let me guess. It was No Way Home?
No Way Home being that low is pretty nauseating. I think Far From Home being at 10 is kind of crazy, too.
What's worse than Far From Home besides TASM 2?
You're about to find out, bro, because here's my list. Here's my ranking of all Spider-Man movies. At number 10, I have Spider-Man 3, the worst Spider-Man that exists.
What?
What what even can I say that hasn't already been said, bro? The dialogue is cringe. Bully Maguire is so cringe. I don't need to see my Spider-Man like slapping his girlfriend across the face. Don't need to see that. This movie is overstuffed with villains. There's 3 villains. One of them is James Franco, Green Goblin, with just another Green Goblin. And it's just, it's too much happening in one movie. It's corny. It's cheesy. It's bad. Now, for my number 9, I have TASM 2, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's for me the second worst one. It suffers from a similar thing as Spider-Man 3. It's overpacked with villains, right? You got another Green Goblin. That's Harry Osborn. You got Electro, right? You got all this stuff kind of going on at the same time. It's too much. They also force in this parent subplot, this mystery about his parents that doesn't need to be there, and kind of a weird, uninteresting arc with Harry Osborn. And I don't love it. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
For my number 8, I have Spider-Man 2. This is a hot take because this is a lot of people's favorite Spider-Man movie ever.
Wait. How have we never talked about this before? Are you serious? Is this
As
rage
a heart
bait?
attack.
Is this
This is
rage?
not rage bait, bro.
I don't want
No.
you. I'm not saying I want you to have a heart attack, but come on. Spider-Man 2
Spider-Man
in 8th position, you psycho.
Yes. I've spoken. Listen, Spider-Man
hate it.
2 is a part of the Raimi trilogy, bro. And I have so much nostalgia for the Raimi trilogy, and I don't hate any of those movies. There's great stuff in all of them. They're great for nostalgia. But, brother, the dialogue is cringe. The acting is cringe. And I don't know. I will say it's been a minute since I've watched some of these movies, like probably 5 years. So some of them I need to come back to, and my opinion could change. So I do reserve the right in the future to re-rank. But
That's crazy that you're saying that. It's this low. And you haven't seen
bro.
it in that long. I understand what
No.
you're saying about not seeing it in
What?
a while, but it's in most people's top 3 for a reason. Bro.
yeah, but even back when I watched it, I felt the same way.
Yeah, but you were like 7 years old when you watched it.
No, I was like 21.
Keep going.
All right, next is Spider-Man Far From Home in number 7.
Too high.
It's not too high. You had it way too low. This is still
Too high.
It's still a good movie.
Let's
It's
go
still a
to
good movie.
Europe. Nope. I don't need Europe
Dude.
Spider-Man. I need freaking New York City Spider-Man. I'll even take Washington, D.C. Spider-Man. I don't need freaking Europe Spider-Man.
You're not wrong. That's why it's on the back half of this list. It's
I
definitely
know I'm not
among-
wrong. 10th place.
No, not 10th place. It's
Jake,
among the worst.
They pulled Jake Gyllenhaal out of their pocket, put him in a line.
Whose pocket?
I don't know. An arbitrary
Okay.
pocket.
Okay.
And they set up a firing squad. But instead of putting only a bullet in one and blanks in all of them, they put bullets in all of them and just
Bro,
kept
what are
shooting.
you talking about, bro?
They just kept shooting.
What are you talking about, bro?
They hated him that much to make him Mysterio.
Bro, it is not that bad. It's not great. Mysterio is not great, but Mysterio is not terrible either. Yes, his whole motivation is Stark. He has nothing to do with Spider-Man. We've talked about this. It's not great, but he's a good actor. It's still entertaining to watch him, and the whole hallucination sequence in Far From Home is amazing, bro. It is cinema. It is so well animated. The visual effects are awesome. It's really cool. I think,
didn't realize we were ranking visual effects here.
bro, we're ranking movies, bro. Movies, bro. The back half of Far From Home is actually really good. Even the Night Monkey stuff is hilarious, bro. I think when he's in the black suit and he's Night Monkey, it's funny. I think MJ figuring out that Peter is Spider-Man is great. I like that scene a lot. And I think even when Spider-Man ends up getting picked up by Happy Hogan and they're like remaking his suit and all that stuff, I really enjoyed all of that stuff. And the final fight and the way it ends, I think it's good. Now, the best part of the movie is definitely the post-credits scene, and that's not good.
Isn't the best
part
isn't
of your
that
movie,
bad? Isn't that bad?
Yes. The best part of your movie should not be the post-credits scene. It should be the movie. So that's why it's one of the worst Spider-Man movie. It's not the worst, though.
Too high. Keep going.
Next, I have Spider-Man 1 at number 6.
Brother.
It's the Raimi trilogy, brother. It's the best of that trilogy.
Brother. Spider-Man 1 is in 6th position.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. I don't super love watching 40-year-olds be high schoolers and be not that great at acting.
But it works.
Yeah, it works, but not as good as the movies that are above it. Not even on the same freaking level as the rest of these movies, bro.
Keep going.
Spider-Man 1 is really good. It's the best of the Raimi trilogy, but the Raimi trilogy has rough direction and cringy writing, and it's the best out of them, but it still is in the back half of my list. Now, for my top 5 favorite Spider-Man movies, we have in 5th place, TASM 1. Bro, The Amazing Spider-Man 1 is awesome, and it's super underrated. This movie's great. Andrew Garfield is really good in this movie. He is a cool version of Peter Parker, which isn't my favorite, but it works for what the movie's kind of going for. I think him and Gwen's relationship is really good. I think him becoming Spider-Man and, learning to use his powers and making the suit and his version of Spider-Man is also really quippy and funny, like the comics. And Andrew Garfield's freaking awesome, and I love that he's Spider-Man. And, the Lizard isn't the best villain, but it's still a good story, and I really, really enjoyed this movie.
I can't argue. I really do like TASM. That's why it was at number 7 instead of number 10. So
yeah,
I could agree with that. I'll give you some credit. I like TASM 1. TASM 1's good.
Thank you, King. Now, we're finding some common ground. Give me some handshakes. Oh, that's nice. All right. Now, number 4, we have Across the Spider-Verse. Now,
we're tied on that. That's great. Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes,
both
bro.
before.
I noticed that. We have the same placement for Across.
Love
That's epic. Across is great. I mean, the Spider-Man movies are pure cinema. The animation is insane. This movie is really great looking. There's really compelling character stuff with Gwen and what she goes through with her dad and him being a cop and him being pissed at her for being a vigilante. What Miles goes through is really great. And, the music in this movie is awesome. The animation. Spider-Punk is great. I don't think this movie is a completed movie, unfortunately, because I feel like this movie kind of ends at the beginning of the 3rd act. The story doesn't really resolve, and I feel like what they set up as the cliffhanger it actually isn't that crazy or interesting with him just meeting another version of himself that's the Prowler. I don't know, that's just not super mind-blowing to me. And he's trying to race against the clock to save his dad, and I felt like the 3rd act of the movie is starting. The 2nd act felt like when he's in the Spider Society with all the people, and it felt like the end of the 2nd act was him breaking away and saying he's going to do his own thing and go and stop the canon event from happening. And then I feel like it ended at the 3rd act, and it's more of a part 1. So that
Fair
might
enough.
be a hot take, but
I need to rewatch Across the Spider-Verse. It's been a minute.
okay, respect. Now, for my top 3, I have Into the Spider-Verse is next. This movie's amazing. I love it. Just the kind of, it's a weirdly grounded story, even though it's a multiversal movie with a pig as Spider-Man played by John Mulaney. It still manages to feel really character-based and emotional and grounded,
Yeah.
And it's freaking amazing. Next is my number 2. I have Spider-Man Homecoming. Wow. I love this movie, bro.
Shocker.
I love this movie.
Shocker.
Tom Holland, his first Spider-Man movie is so awesome. I kind of already went through this, but listen, the whole message of this movie is that Spider-Man wants to be like Tony Stark, right? He wants to be an Avenger. He wants to be not necessarily famous, but he wants to be a big hero, a legendary hero that's saving the world, right? And he wants to have like the coolest suit with all the crazy Stark tech. And he wants to kind of be Iron Man. And I think what's awesome is that Tony is literally like, no, I don't want you to be Iron Man. I want you to be better. I want you to be Spider-Man. I want you to be the friendly neighborhood story that's doing the right thing for the right reasons and is saving people, not for the glory of it, but because it's the right thing to do, right? And if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it at all. And he has to truly discover and become the Spider-Man that's within him without the suit. And that's the beginning of the origin of this version of Spider-Man, and I think it's freaking beautiful. The Vulture is also the GOAT in this movie. And in my number one favorite Spider-Man movie, we all knew I was going to say
what is it.
No Way Home.
Oh my gosh, shocker.
The best Spider-Man movie ever put to screen.
That is the incorrect opinion, but we just had a whole discussion about it, so I can't argue against it.
This movie is almost perfect, bro. I mean, the fact that you have this amazing Spider-Man movie where Peter Parker's identity was revealed to the whole world. He was framed for murder, and it really messes up his friend's life, and he's just trying to help them. And in doing that, he causes a huge multiversal issue where the Spider-Man villains from the Raimi universe and the Amazing Spider-Man universe all come in, and then Tobey and Andrew show up, and it's freaking amazing. And what I love about this movie is it would have been very easy to make this like a cameo fest, like The Flash or something like that, where it's just kind of like CGI CGI characters that just show up to get a reaction out of people. But it's so much deeper than that. The Spider-Mans have their own story arcs that they're going through that support Tom Holland because it's still his movie.
Yeah.
And what they have gone through, what they're going through, helps him get through what he's going through in a really beautiful way. And it's a really just beautiful culmination of every Spider-Man movie, every live-action Spider-Man movie we've gotten. And the ending is so beautiful, and it's so Spider-Man of Peter choosing to let everyone in the world forget who Peter Parker is, and for him to lose everyone in his life to save the world and to save the universe, bro. And it ends the movie on this really amazing note of he's alone, no one remembers him, and he's sacrificed everything to protect the people he loves. And now he's just going to go be a friendly neighborhood, street-level Spider-Man that's just saving people. And he's depressed, he's alone, but he's Spider-Man. And when he he makes his own suit, no more Stark tech, no more fancy, cool suit. He sews the suit together himself, inspired by the other. Bro, in the script, it even says that he makes this suit inspired by the other Spider-Mans. Like, he builds this suit, and it's kind of in reference to them. And we even see in the Brand New Day trailers that the webbing in it is raised, like Tobey Maguire's suit. Bro, it's freaking awesome. And it's a representation of kind of who he is at this point, bro. He has everything stripped away from him now, and he's just the right person, right? He's Spider-Man. And it sets up just a cool kind of future for Spider-Man that we are finally about to get a sequel to this week with Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, there you go.
I like your list, even if I completely disagree with it. And I think that's the beautiful part of Spider-Man. Because I agree with you that the Raimis are cringy. Because I said that earlier. Tobey's cringe.
Yes.
That's part of why I love it. I grew up watching those. I have seen Spider-Man 2, him collapsing into the sea so many times on FX. I can't tell you how many times we'd be chilling at the house on a Sunday, just vibing, and Spider-Man 2's on the TV. And I'm just sitting there watching it. Like, this is it. This is peak. I actually can picture me doing that. And it's freaking awesome. And that is nostalgia for me. I don't have a lot of nostalgia. But Spider-Man, I freaking love Spider-Man, dude. And the Raimi trilogy is that for me. Sure, it's got its problems. Spider-Man 3 sucks. But
Amen, brother.
I freaking love it, dude. I love it. I love the Venom. I understand that it's bloated, but I've seen it so many times and I just freaking love it. I'm not going to try to defend it. You have valid reasons against it. I love it. And I guess it's all subjective. This is, if I was coming up with an objective tier list, right? Which I think everyone can agree that there are things that are objective when it comes to things, when you actually structure them out and you're like, all right, the acting was bad here, but the story was good here. Okay, but this was really fire. Even if you didn't like it, this was fire. I think you can come up with an objective list, and that would be an interesting thing to do. Like, what is the objectively right list? And I think yours is more objectively right than mine, but I don't care, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't want to, but I think I do need to rewatch Far From Home. But I'm gonna clown on Mysterio because I freaking hate him.
And I will say I definitely need to rewatch the Raimi trilogy. I also have nostalgia for it. These are some of my earliest movie memories are watching the Raimi trilogy. Yeah. And I loved them as a kid. And they're the reason I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite comic book character.
That's what I'm saying.
Ever.
That's what I'm saying,
yes,
bro.
He's the GOAT. And I had all the Sam Raimi toys, bro. I had the Burger King ones with the black suit, all that stuff. And I don't get me wrong, to this day I love those movies, but as like an adult, I can also, like you, acknowledge like, man, they're not the best films in the world, you know?
Yeah.
But
and it's also the same reason I have Revenge of the Sith in my top. It's just they're fun.
Totally.
I enjoy it even if I'm objectively wrong. Which leads me to my next question. Where do you think Brand New Day is going to land on your list? Like,
oh man.
Because I'll tell you where I think, but you go first.
Where do you think?
You go
okay,
first.
I'll
you go first.
go.
I thought you had to think about it.
I would hope that Brand New Day would rank at least in the top 5, but I want to say like I want it to be maybe third place. If it was in top 5, I'd be happy. I would love it to be in my top 3.
Yeah, that's fair. I wrote down.
What about you?
I think it will land above Spider-Man 2 for sure. So it'll be in third place. However, I think this has potential to be number 1. I really do. With the way
it definitely does.
The way it's being promoted, with all the theory crafting behind it.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why. It's the reason why Homecoming went up my list so far, even though it's still in 6th place. It's like, it's kind of an isolated story set in a gigantic universe, as far as we know. Right. Like, sure, we have Punisher, and we might have Daredevil, and we have Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
But none of them know who Peter Parker is. They know who Spider-Man is, but they don't know Peter, so that changes like the whole dynamic of having a superhero team up. And I'm pretty stoked to see him and Punisher on screen together, because they're both like street level New Yorkers. So I think this movie is especially, because there's no Avengers affiliation. We have Punisher, we have Scorpion, maybe Daredevil. I don't know. I don't know if Daredevil's going to be in this.
I don't know.
I
hope so. That'd be sick.
We have all of the street level stuff that I love. Bro, what is there to lose? I am so freaking stoked. It could be number 1. And if it's not number 1, at least top 3. That's my prediction.
Yeah. I would love it to be number 1. I can't let myself go there.
Yeah,
fair. I can't get my expectations that high, but fair. I would love it to be number 1. I think the best looking thing about this movie is the street level story that we're getting. Like I said, No Way Home really set us up to finally just have like a true street level friendly neighborhood Spider-Man who is alone, does not have a fancy suit. He's not rich. He doesn't have resources, bro. It's just him. And he's just trying to protect New York and protect people he cares about. Yeah. And it looks awesome to me. And I will say also just the way this movie looks, like the cinematography, the color grading, everything, it looks next level, bro. And I will say, I never had a problem with how No Way Home looked. But on this rewatch, after seeing all the trailers and footage for Brand New Day, it's a lot more noticeable how not as great the Homecoming trilogy looks in comparison, bro.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll have to.
They're not the best looking movies in the world.
Yeah, they're kind of generic. I can't say I've been judging them off of like a production standpoint, but the trailer, just the color grading in the new Brand New Day trailer, ooh,
yeah,
ooh. Honestly, my favorite production quality was the end of No Way Home when it's showing him like checking into his apartment and all of that stuff. That looked clean. That looked like it looked a little grimy. So if that's what we're getting, that type of color grading, bro, I'm locked in.
Yep. Now, my prediction, or not, no, this isn't my prediction, but what I think could potentially be the worst part about Brand New Day, and I really hope at a review I can say this wasn't the case. I feel like the biggest downside to this movie could be the Spider-Man 3 TASM 2 effect of being overpacked with villains and characters and storylines. Because, brother, the list of villains in this movie is Scorpion, Tarantula, Boomerang, Tombstone, and Sadie Sink, who everyone thinks is playing Jean Grey.
Maybe it's going to be like montage of him cleaning up stuff, and it'll be really
That's
quick.
what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. And if that's the case, that's awesome. Or if it's just like a small part of the story, or it maybe something happens early in the movie that kind of leads to everything else, I'm great with that. I just also think the fact that he's also going to be fighting Hulk at some point. And, you know, him and the Punisher are going to have a rivalry. And we have all these kind of things going on at the same time. I will say the Hulk stuff makes me a little nervous just because, I don't know, just so much of the marketing, brother, is including the Hulk. Like, they're really pushing this movie as like a Spider-Man and Hulk movie, and I don't need that, you know? Every single Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland has had a big MCU Avenger in it, and I was honestly looking forward to that not being the case anymore, but they've chosen to continue it. If they are doing the rumored storyline of the Hulk remembering who Peter Parker is, that I think could be really dope, and I hope it's awesome. I love Bruce Banner. I love the Hulk, so I'm not.
That would make a lot of sense.
It would. So I'm hoping that's the case.
It would make sense to throw him in, since logically that's a good reason to throw in an Avenger. But also,
agreed.
I've been trying to avoid a lot of trailers. I've only watched I think at one time, so I haven't felt like there's an agenda to put Hulk in there. Is there a huge agenda to keep him in?
I mean, I think yeah, like in a lot of the TV spots, it features like scenes of Hulk. I think they're definitely using it to sell this movie just because like Hulk is a big Marvel character.
Yeah.
But I believe in this movie.
Yeah.
And it could be really awesome, and I'm hoping it is. And this movie has me super hyped. So I'm not worried about this being a bad movie at all.
Sweet. Well, I'm stoked, bro. I'm geeked out for Spider-Man. I'll be bringing my Spider-Man blanket with me in the theater, and we're gonna record.
Under with you?
You can snuggle under it with me, bro. We'll get the little Spider-Man popcorn bucket, Spider-Man sodas. We'll hop in our Spider-Man jammies, and we'll call it a day. It's gonna be sick, bro. I'm psyched to see it with you, and then we'll come back and re-review. We'll re-review it. We'll come back and review it and go from there.
Heck yeah. So 1 week from today, our Spider-Man Brand New Day review will be live. I can't wait.
I'm excited, bro.
It's gonna be beautiful. Cole, you got anything you've been watching lately?
Honestly, no. I'm literally gonna be moving in like 3 days, so I've just been big chilling, like getting the apartment. I've been in go mode. I haven't had like any time to think. It's almost midnight here, so you know we're putting in the hours, and I just haven't been able to watch anything. So
yeah.
Oh! I just remembered I did watch something. I'm not gonna get super into it, But as
Okay.
we know here on the Real Friends podcast, I'm the world's #1 invite glazer. You forget about that?
Oh my gosh. I forgot this movie existed, brother.
I texted bro earlier and said, dude, we have to talk about the invite. At least I have to. And let me just give you very, very, very quickly off the cuff thoughts. The
Yes,
invite
let me
with
hear it.
Seth Rogen, Edward Norton, 2 other people, Olivia Wilde, and I forget the other chick's name. Penelope Cruz, I think. This couple has another couple over to their house, and weirdly it was pretty sexual. I wasn't expecting it to be as sexual as it was. I didn't know that going into this movie. I saw the trailer and I was like, ooh, we're about to have like a weird toxic dinner party. That's what it felt like. It's like they're inviting them over for dinner.
Yeah.
I think I didn't read into the marketing properly. And it's like this swinger type of movie. Like they're trying to like have a swing party with them. And the first couple's like having marital problems, and like they're like open, which is so weird to me. And I kept wanting to get up and walk out of this movie, but every time I was every time I was considering it, it went away from like the actual swinger plot and it turned into like marriage and counseling. And I was like, I want to see them get back together. So like it kept riding this border. And in my opinion, the message was like, this sex stuff ain't gonna fix it. You have marriage problems that you need to deal with. And like right when they were about to like have their swinger party, this weird impromptu swinger party, Seth Rogen fakes a back injury, like when he's about to have sex with this other woman, to get out of it. And he's like making such a big deal about it. And then it leads to the other chick being like, you guys aren't ready for this. You guys need to work out your problems. And it's like a long 15-minute scene about blah, 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 blah. And the movie ends pretty gorgeously with like them connecting for like the first time in the entire movie. So I left with some good thoughts, but I was also like, why did I go see that?
Yeah,
so
I would definitely not.
I don't recommend it. It's definitely more progressive, and I don't love the agenda that like swinger parties are okay. But every
At
time
least
I was
pushed that they should like work out their marriage and fix it. That's good.
Yeah, I was also reading reviews online and afterwards, and people were like, yeah, but I think they're getting divorced. I think that was the message of the movie. So I was like, what's going on?
That's a terrible message.
So I don't really know what to think of it. I haven't given it a lot of thought since I watched it, but it's pretty funny that for like 2 months I've been thinking about seeing this movie and I didn't even realize it was like branded towards like swingers. So
let me just remind everyone that this was Nicole's top 3 most anticipated movies of the freaking year.
It was not in my top 3. It was like a list that I had on my phone that I wanted to go see. That's all that it was. It's like I had like 15 movies on my notes, and The Invite was one of them because I saw a teaser trailer. And the teaser trailer didn't show me.
Yeah, you chose that for one of your top 3 when we did the ranking, remember?
Oh, shoot, you're right. I don't think anyone
reminded you that
Brand New Day
was coming out and you changed it. Yeah,
it was Brand New Day.
It was Brand New Day. That was so wild.
Bro, I was
don't even
so
know if we
cooked
released
on
that episode.
We did not release that episode, but
it's in the files.
Go see it if you want. It's A24, but it kind of promotes a swinger lifestyle, and I'm not into that. So, yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Nice. Well, The Invite's box office is about $20 because Cole's the only person who's ever watched it. So for me,
Crazy.
I've been watching a few things. So Riley and I, we binged The Bear season 5.
You're already done? Nice.
Yeah. Have you watched The Bear season 5?
I have not had any time.
Okay. I won't spoil it. I thought it ended well. I think the 5th season's really good. It is very different from the other seasons in terms of the vibe and production quality. They use like cinema cameras in this season.
Okay.
Like they shoot. This is going to sound really weird, but this is the vibe of the season. Tenet.
Okay. They shoot like
they
Tenet?
try to make they don't kind of they try to make the vibe of The Bear season 5 like Christopher Nolan's Tenet. The score is like sounds like Ludwig's score from Tenet. This like electrical kind of like it's really loud in the mix and people are kind of talking while this loud score is going, and it's like it feels like that. And then the cinema cameras are super high quality, and it's shot like more like a movie, like almost like a Tenet vibe, rather than like how the rest of the Bear is shot. So it's a really big change when you turn on season 5 right after watching like season 4. And the Bear experiments a lot with different styles. So I thought, oh, maybe they're just doing this for an episode, because they kind of go into different styles a lot. No, the whole season's kind of that vibe. And the first probably like half of the season, I wasn't digging as much, because they're kind of setting up the story, and kind of all these things are happening that's setting up the story. But it has like this Tenet vibe, and I don't think it meshes well with like the setup for everything. But once the story gets going, I actually think it really works with the new kind of vibe they've set up, and I think it's really great. And as far as the finale goes, I won't spoil anything. I will say I think it ends in a good way, and I think it does the right things. So
okay,
I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm debating a rewatch. I'm debating an entire show rewatch before I watch it. But I also don't want to have to, I don't know if I have the time to do that before we want to review it, so maybe we'll discuss that later.
For sure.
But
for sure.
I need to watch it. I'm excited for it.
The other thing that we watched, now, guys, this is not like the most amazing like show out there, but it's on Netflix. It's called I Will Find You. It's kind of like a mystery type vibe. It's like a murder mystery, but not quite. It's in the Harlan Coben like book series adaptations that they're doing on Netflix. We watched a different one a couple months ago, and I thought it was good. It wasn't like amazing. It was like a good mystery, but like the writing wasn't like the best in the world, and the acting, and there's a lot of conveniences, but it's like entertaining enough to keep you going. It's very much like a binge type of show. This show's, I would say, a step up from that. It features I don't remember her name, but Helly from Severance.
Oh, okay.
She's one of the main characters in this show, and that made me want to watch it just because she's so great in Severance, and it's really good. Riley and I like watched pretty much the whole thing in a day, and it's a good mystery. I like it. It's not like prestige TV by any means, but it's really entertaining, and it's a good mystery, and we like the way it ended. So yeah, we've just been watching that stuff. So
sweet.
That's what I've been watching. But hey, this has been a fun episode.
Yeah, dude, this has been good to talk about Spider-Man. We got Spider-Man coming out.
We got Spider-Man.
I don't know what else to say, bro. In a couple of days, we're going to be witnessing, hopefully, the best Spider-Man movie we've ever seen.
I would love that.
That's about where I'm at. So,
and more importantly, you'll be witnessing Cole and I cuddling.
Live action cuddle scene?
Live action cuddle scene on the next pod. Tune in.
Amen. Well, Caleb, it's been a pleasure. It's almost midnight for me, so I'm going to go to bed. I'm freaking exhausted. But I'm glad that you enjoyed Bear Season 5, and I'm glad that you didn't go see The Invite. Because
me too.
You never need to watch that, bro. I promise you that. I
definitely don't want to,
but yeah, folks,
I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah, bro. Thank you guys, for watching Real Friends. I've been Cole, and that's been Caleb. And tune in next week. I'm kind of like low energy. I'm losing it, Caleb.
Bro, you're losing it. Here, I got this.
Caleb,
guys,
you got it.
Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like it, comment, share it with your friends if you like it. Follow us on our socials. It's all going to be linked in our bio.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for being a real friend.
Yes.
I'm Caleb. This is Cole.
And I'm Cole.
And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Caleb, thanks for saving that, bro. I got cooked.